gentlemen, for the sake of a very small gain in time, you are going to earn the reputation and the blame from those who wish to speak ill about our city, that you have put shocked a wise man. Could people say a wise Indian? If you had waited just a little while, you would have had your way in the course of nature. You can see I'm well on in life, and near to that. I say this not to all of you, only to those who voted for my execution. And I have something else to say to them as well. No doubt you think, gentlemen, that I have been condemned for lack of the arguments which I could have used if I thought it right to leave nothing unsaid or undone to secure my acquittal. But that is far from the truth. It is not a lack of arguments that has led to my condemnation, but a lack of audacity and shamelessness, and my refusal to address you in the way which would have given you most pleasure. You would have liked to hear me weep and wail, doing and saying all sorts of things which I declare to be unworthy of myself, but which you are used to hearing from other people. In a court of law, just as in warfare, neither I nor anyone else ought to use his wits to escape death by any means. In a battle, it is often obvious that you could escape death by giving up your arms and throwing yourselves at the mercy of your pursuers. But I tell you, gentlemen, the problem is not really, the difficulty is not really to escape death. The real difficulty is to escape from corruption, which is far more fleet of foot. In this present instance, I, a slow old man, have been overtaken a little lower than the two. But my accusers, who are clever and quick, have been overtaken faster. When I leave this court, I shall go away condemned by you to death. But they will go away convicted by truth herself of badness and injustice. And they will accept their sentence even as I accept mine. No doubt it was meant to be so. And I think the result is and now. Having said so much, I feel moved to prophesy to those of you who voted against me, because I am now at that point where the gift of prophecy comes most readily to man, the point of death. I tell you, my executioners, that as soon as I am dead, vengeance will fall upon you with a punishment far more painful than your killing of me. You have brought about my death in the belief that through it you will be delivered from submitting the conduct of your lives to criticism. But I tell you, the result will be just the opposite. You will have more critics, whom until now I have restrained without your knowing it. And being younger, they will be harsher on you. And will cause you more annoyance. If you expect to stop denunciation of your wrong way of life by putting people to death, there's something amiss with your reasoning. That way of escape is neither possible nor creditable. The best and easiest way is not to stop the mouths of others, but to make yourselves as well behaved as possible. That is my last message to those who voted for my condemnation. As for those of you who voted for my acquittal, I should very much like to say a few words to reconcile you with this result, as long as the officials are still busy and I am not yet on my way to the place where I must die. I look upon you as my friends, and I'd like to explain to you the meaning of what has happened to me. Gentlemen, I have had a remarkable experience. In the past, the prophetic voice that I have become accustomed to has always been my constant companion, opposing me even quite trivial things if I was going to take the wrong course. Now something has happened to me, you can see, that might be thought, and is commonly considered, to be a supreme calamity. But neither when I left home this morning, nor when I was taking my place here in the court, nor at any point in any part of my speech did the divine sign oppose me. In other discussions, it has often checked me in the middle of a sentence, but this time it has never opposed me in any part of this whole business, in anything that I have said or done. What do I think is the explanation? I will tell you. I think that this thing that has happened to me is a blessing. And we are quite mistaken in thinking that death is an evil. Death is one of two things. Either it is annihilation, and the dead have no consciousness of anything, or it is, as we are told, really a change, a migration of the soul from this place to another. Now, if there is no consciousness, but only a dreamless sleep, death must be a marvelous thing. I suppose if any of you were asked to pick out the night in which he slept so soundly as not even to dream, and then were asked to say how many better and happier nights he has spent in the course of his life, well, I think even the great king himself would find these nights easy to count. If death is like this, I call it gay. Because the whole time could then be considered as being no more than one single night. If, on the other hand, death is a removal from here to some other place, and if what we are told is true, that all the dead are there, what greater blessing could there be, gentlemen of the jury? If on arrival in the other world one would meet there the true jurors who are said to preside in those courts, Minos and Radamantis and Aeacus and Triptolemus and all those other demigods who were upright in their earthly lives, would that be an unrewarding place to settle? How much would any of you not give to meet Orpheus and Musaeus and Hesiod and Homer? Oh, I at least would be willing to die 10 times over if that accounts for truth. Above all, to spend my time there as here, examining and searching people's minds to find out who really is wise among them and who only thinks he is. What would you not give, gentlemen, to be able to scrutinize the leader of that great army against Troy? Or Odysseus, or Sisyphus, and all the thousands of other men and women one could mention. Their company and conversation and a chance to examine them would be unimaginable happiness. At any rate, I presume that they do not put you to death for doing that. Because apart from the other happiness in which their place surpasses ours, they are now immortal for the rest of time. If what we are told is true. You two, gentlemen, must look forward to death with confidence. And fix your minds on that one belief that is certain, that nothing can harm a good man, either in life or after death. And his fortunes are not a matter of indifference to the gods. That present experience of mine does not arise from the earthly causes. I am quite clear that the time had come where it was better for me to die and be released of my distraction. That is why my sign never turned me back. For my part, I bear no grudge at all against those who condemned and accused me, although they didn't do it with this kind intention, but because they thought that they were hurting me. And for that, they deserve blame. However, I asked them to grant me one favor. Gentlemen, if my sons grow up and you think that they are putting money or anything else before goodness, take your revenge by plaguing them as I plagued you. And if they fancy themselves for no reason, you must scold them as I scolded you for neglecting the important things and thinking that they are something when they are good for nothing. If you do this, gentlemen, I will have had justice at your hands. I and my children. Well, now it is time to be off. Hard to die, but you to live. But which of us has the happier prospect? Oh, I'll never forget.